What's up, guys? It's your boy Mario back again with an update for Suits Absolute Power, and I'm absolutely sure that this is the final name for this game. We're never changing it again. Absolute Power was the best name from the start. Absolute Business Garbage, Absolute Trash, that's what it was. Just like the rest of this game. Now, I want to say a few things before I kind of jump into, just this quick little update. One, if you haven't wish list this game right now on Steam, we have 300 something wish list. That is hopefully going to be like 300 guaranteed sales. If you don't wish list this game, I'm just gonna be disappointed. So let's see, new date. We're going to be releasing this game. Hopefully, this is I just saw this today, but I thought I was about to say, hey guys, in a month this game should be done, or it's going to be released. However, personally, still don't think that's going to be the case. I think the game will be done before release, but not ready for release. If that makes any sense. And lastly, here's the release schedule kind of thing. Not really schedule, but kind of my personal little how close are we to finishing this game. And so currently on the release map, I've written on a sticky note inside of my PlayStation 3. We're gonna first finish the game from start to end. That is our goal right now. We're currently on the last district before the final district, I guess. Not the same size as a district, but still, final district before the final part of the game. Let's just say it that way. Afterwards, I want to be doing some really quick and dirty balancing for items and battles. This should also include adding drops for enemies so they can drop some stuff. Have a chance of dropping good shit. After we're done with that, we start the beta testing immediately. We want to make sure we get, all the beta testers to, their hands on this game, and for them to find whatever problems they have with the game and give it to us. And after that, we fix the remaining issues and try another pass of beta testing, and hopefully nothing much breaks and we release the game. As simple as that sounds, for all we know, it's still most likely going to have to delay the game again. So that's the only downside. Well, anyway, let's get on to Suits, I guess. So a couple of changes. We reached a memory limit with this game, and it was kind of funny because I added some new tracks in, and people say don't optimize your game. That's the last thing you do. I would say don't do that. Optimize your game as you go. If you can optimize something, optimize it. I didn't really quite realize we had to optimize the audio. I was kind of wondering if it was just how big our textures were, and I don't know. It was just something that really the textures stored in the GPU, not in the RAM. But you never know with these engines. We were increasingly, we almost got to 2 gigabytes for this game of RAM usage, which isn't a lot for some people for modern games. But I'm like, this game should not be taking that much space. And well, when I added new tracks in, it actually couldn't launch the game because we just had no more memory. And what would that mean? It just meant GameMaker has a hard limit as to how much memory can be used. And it was a really interesting learning experience. So, we have music groups, which are basically where you can assign music to, like audio to. I say music groups, it's just sound groups. Apparently, I didn't realize it, but these are stored in the memory. So we have, like, you know, I guess almost 2 gigabytes of, over 2 gigabytes of audio, and it's all being stored in the memory. So, in order to fix this issue, I was just reading some documentation and found that you can load and unload these groups. And I just had to do a bunch of, changes to the main system of this game, and how changing rooms and switching out audio, it's all that, it's a lot of stuff. And now I got it to the point where, it works, it's fine. So we shouldn't be having too many issues with that. Only thing is, if you jump into, it should really be, working fine now. Like, you're never gonna have an issue where you're not gonna hear audio unless for some reason we put the wrong track in the wrong district. That is another thing. We have a district check to see which music it should be loading in and playing. So we cut the RAM usage to half, so that was good. From 2 gigabytes to 1 gigabyte, under 1 gigabyte. You can kind of see there on the top left, it's at like a gigabyte. But, everybody's got a lot of RAM nowadays, so this is nothing. Could it be less? Yes, but it's more complicated, I guess. New and improved thing, I guess. How do I say it? So our special effects and suits, like we have like our vignette, which is that darkening of the corners, and our film grain, which is kind of subtle, so you probably can't see it on the video. Maybe you can. Let me switch to the game scene. There we go. Alright. So, I originally had 2 large textures. Well, one was anime, which was the noise, and the other one was static, which was the vignette. Now, a problem that occurred, I was informed of, was that when you have a weird aspect ratio or something, like, with your monitor, you might see like a little bit of spacing on this corner here. Like, there's like a pixel, you can't see it, but like on the, like a 1 pixel offset for these textures. Why? I don't know. Game Maker's really weird. So I never encountered it on my system, but my cousin and other people have said, yeah, I see it sometimes. And I think it was just something with it had to do with aspect ratios and how, like, screen resolutions and stuff like that just mess up that system or something. I'm not really sure. So I decided to actually do what I said in the beginning of development, which I said I wasn't going to do, which was make shaders. Now, why did I say that? Because shaders can, while implementing them is not too hard, when you want to do a lot of special things, it can start to complicate things. And, really, at the time, I was still pretty novice at programming and Game Maker and not too comfortable using shaders. But I replaced those 2 things with shaders. Why? Because it fixes the issue with their aspect ratio, and 2, it takes a lot off of the GPU. So you might be like, how? You're telling the GPU to run this code every frame. And you're right. But it's different to have use up memory for unnecessarily large textures, such as screen effects, and then rather than just to procedurally generate this. You might think, oh, but it's not really procedural. I'm like, yes, it is. It is just running an algorithm and drawing it to the screen, each pixel. And GPU's fast enough to, it can handle that better than just textures. If you made a whole game procedurally, it'd probably run it well, but then again, I don't know. However, it does give me more control as to how I want this game to look, compared to the image where I need to make a new one and replace and test, rather than just adjust values. So that's really good. And I'm not going to bother with this guy. Yeah, and so another thing I had to do too was change how text boxes are drawn too, because if I were to change, actually switch back to this scene, so let me just show you an example. I mean, I can't show it to you. Can't show it to you exactly, but I were to, yeah. So you see how it's cut off here, where it should be. Well, GameMaker is kind of dumb, so it's like, oh no, the GUI is this whole layer here. So it just kind of puts this over the box, so people with, you know, playing for some reason in a resolution like this will see the whole box, and other things are not supposed to be seen drawn on the GUI. So I had to make a surface and do a lot of drawing and stuff like that, and that's still a bit complicated. There were still some issues, and you know, hopefully now it should be fine. Pausing actually doesn't do this ghosting effect anymore. It's a really weird thing with GameMaker. Not sure why, but alpha channels like don't render properly, and you can still see it's just still some weird artifacting, but it's not as, you know, bad as the, yeah, it's not as bad as the ghosting effect. That was really annoying. I'm glad they fixed it. You can see kind of like it shifts, but it's because the camera's still moving when you pause it. So yeah, this whole district's actually basically done. This is the gamer district, and just really happy. You know, hopefully end of this month we'll have the final district done, and we can start beta testing. So keep an eye out, guys. If you want to join a beta test, we're not trying to let a lot of people in. We already have a lot of patrons, or not patrons. We got a lot of donators and our two patrons who are going to be beta testing, hopefully. But that does not mean they're all going to be beta testing, because some of them might not even be on and not even aware. So what a surprise. So anyway, guys, that's all I'm going to show you for today. Hope you guys have a good one. Alright, see ya.